And then I was getting like, then the other issue was one teacher could hear what the other teacher's saying because they're in the same room. So can you please separate them? I said, do you think I live in a mansion? Because there's no room in this house for them to be in two separate rooms. We used to have youth clubs out there. They've closed all the youth clubs. The children they have nowhere to, what can we do? Even parks, they've closed parks at 4:00. So if you say you don't finish doing your little things that you need to be doing in your house by 4:00, you can't even take the kids to the park to go and have a little swing.
I won't do the normal introduction because today we got a very, very, very special guest. A very, very serious show that I'm very much looking forward to, that is causing problems all over the country. She's one of the superheroes. She's a key worker. She's a mum. She's a teacher. She's working from home. She's the cleaner of the house, obviously. She's doing everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to Krystal.
Hey.
Do you go by the name of Krystal, right?
Yeah, everyone knows me as Krystal.
Everyone knows you.
Yeah.
How are you, Krystal?
I'm good.
So this is one of your many few breaks that
Yeah.
you've been having during this lockdown.
Yep, therefore.
Let's dive right into it. I got 3 kids. We did homeschool them, and the missus was stressed, like pulling her hair out, kind of stress. Like 6:30, she's ready to crash, kind of stress. Sometimes I get a phone calls, can you come home? Come home and just help.
Yep.
I just can't take this. What is it like for you? First of all, how many kids you got?
I have 3 sons.
Oh, wow.
Which are all different ages. So the balance is crazy right now.
Jesus. I'm scared of sons. I got 3 girls.
3 sons is nice though.
No. I like whenever my friends with sons come to my house, whenever I go to their house,
Yeah.
their sons are off the wall.
Balls. Tell me about it. They're
bouncing.
boisterous. Definitely. It's hard.
Literally one time, the missus, her cousin's got a son and a girl. So they both came over to our place. And the son was non-stop.
Yeah,
and the
that's
girls were
exactly
just
how it is in our house.
3 sons.
Yep, 3 sons.
Wow. Tell us. Entertain us with that.
So my 3 sons, they're all different. They're all different ages. They all have their own personalities. They're very different. My oldest son, he's a bit, reserved.
Okay, how old is he?
He's 10.
Okay, still energy.
No, but he's a good one actually.
Oh wow.
He's just got very bad anger management. When you tell him something you don't like, the way he reacts to it is crazy.
Like kicking down the house.
Yeah, screaming, shouting, blames everyone, blames the whole world. Why are you my mum? His favorite line.
Because I gave birth to you.
And then
don't hit the kids because social service will be after you. Just sit them in a naughty corner. Does that work? Do you have a naughty corner?
With my kids, you're mad. No way.
How do you discipline them?
Well, I normally shout, scream, holler. And then after that, they calm down for a good hour.
Do you not find that the more you shout and the more you scream, they kind of like get used to that, so they don't respond to it as? Or do you really go in?
Sometimes it does go like that, but they know when I'm when I'm being serious, and they know when I'm joking.
Like, oh, you sit yourself down. No, you don't say that, do you? Child, I brought you into this world. I'll take you. I hope you don't say that. Social services disclaimer, she doesn't do that. She's just saying that.
But like my middle son,
how old is he?
He is 8. He's very, he's a good boy. That one's actually, he's a good boy, but he has his moments.
Yeah.
And like, he'll go to school, do his work. He's very, very smart. His teachers have no complaints, nothing. He's very, very smart. Such an amazing reader.
That's beautiful.
But when he comes home, it's like, no, he don't want to read. He has to read every night, and the issue is the reading. He wants to sit on a computer playing PlayStation through the whole night until about 9 o'clock at night.
So he's a good reader, but he doesn't like reading. Is doesn't like reading at home, or doesn't like reading?
He don't like doing any schoolwork at home. He feels that if he goes to school and does the work, why should he come home and have to do more work?
He's got a point, but he just needs to learn the learning actually happens at home, not in school.
I believe that as well. And then my little son, he is 4. He just turned 4. He's the worst. He's got so much energy. He doesn't stop. And the more you tell him no, is the more he does.
But is that not the case? Even me, my youngest one, she is the most energetic one out of the 3. So don't you find, JB, you got 3, innit? So that your third one as well is she's the mad one as well. So I think maybe it's a thing where if the youngest one, because they got so much
and they want all the attention. That's the problem. It's all about it's all about the attention with them.
Yes.
But he is like, I always say to my mum, I always look at my mum and say, do you remember Kadeem and Carter being like this? Because I don't remember at this age them being like that.
Yeah.
He's really naughty, that last one.
Where does he get it from?
And he doesn't give me 5 minutes to myself.
Why should he?
No, he needs to. I need 5 minutes to. Sometimes I just need to go. Can I go to the bathroom by myself? I'll wait outside the door for you. No.
Literally. So it's the love.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
He does
Enjoy
really
that.
love
Because
me.
after a while, that's gonna go.
Definitely.
And once it goes, like, oh, can I get a hug? Like, no. Stay away from me. So, what time is the earliest one up?
He don't wake up early, because there's more time. I've managed to get the other 2 ready to do what they need to do for the day, and he's still sleeping. So I'll say about by 10. He don't wake up early. Yeah. But
Is that the youngest one?
Yeah. But
10 a.m.
that's
your youngest
now.
child is in bed.
Yeah, in the morning.
Let's
good.
clap for him.
But normally on a school day, because he goes to school now, he'll have to be up by like 7 the latest.
What's that like?
The mornings are mayhem.
Yeah.
Very bad the mornings.
On who? On them or on your part? Because I for some reason I find that like with my daughters, on the weekend, sometimes they're up at 6.
Full of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when it's time to go to school,
they
just
just
got
don't
a big
wake
issue.
up. Monday to Friday, they do not wake up.
Yeah.
And what really ticks me off is when you're trying to get, you could see you only got 15 minutes to go.
Exactly.
And just want
Well, my little son when he first started school, I had to get him dressed like 3-4 times in the morning because he's taking off his clothes every minute and putting them on. So we just decided now, before we leave, you put on the clothes. Yeah. That's what's going to happen now. I do everything, the underpants, the vest, the socks, but you put on those school clothes before we leave. And he always needs something as I'm leaving the house.
Always.
I'm hungry now. Can I have a glass of water? Can I have this? Can I have that? I'm like, no, we're leaving. It's time. We're going to be late for school. But it doesn't matter. If I'm late, it doesn't matter. The teacher's not going to tell me nothing. She's going to tell you.
Is that what your 4-year-old says?
Yeah. He said, the teacher's going to tell you off, mummy, not me.
That is one intelligent 4-year-old.
Yeah, he is.
So what, with all that energy, talk to us through the first lockdown. What was that like, homeschooling, all 3 of them by yourself? Okay. What was the main challenges on that?
Well, in the first lockdown, I wanted to cry every day. It was so hard. And then they started, what happened at first? In the beginning, it wasn't that bad for the simple fact that the school was sending homework. So it was like more, okay, you sit over there, give you this work to do, you do this work, I'll come and check it. And then you get the kids trying to tell you, but how'd you do this? So then I'm looking at them like, did your teacher not show you this in school? I'm sure you got taught this maybe last week, a couple of weeks ago, before this all started, you got taught this. My son went blank. Like he said, I don't remember getting taught this in school. I said, so if I phone your teacher, she's going to tell me she didn't teach this, right? Yeah. And then he's like, then he gets so scared because he thinks I'm joking. I'm not going to. I phoned the teacher for everything. Everything he tells me, I always know when this guy's lying. So I phoned the teacher and we can have the discussion with your teacher. Wow. And then, but the first lockdown was, how shall I put it? It was in the beginning, I found it like, oh, this ain't gonna be for long. Let's just try and do this.
It was the unknown.
This ain't gonna be. They said 3 weeks. This is calm. Let's go. Let's do it. Well, when I saw coming to months, I was going crazy. And then they introduced Zoom learning, where that was annoying. So with the Zoom learning, I'll put them in a room and tell them to log on and everything. Then I was getting, you can see the teacher, you can't hear the teacher. Then the teacher wants them to turn on the camera. And then the school's sending me messages about, make sure your child's dressed in their school uniform. I'm like,
in their school uniform?
I'm like, full school
At
uniform
home.
to sit in their house. No, they're not doing that. And then I was getting like, oh, then the other issue was one teacher could hear what the other teacher's saying because they're in the same room. So can you please separate them? I said, do you think I live in a mansion? Because there's no room in this house for them to be in 2 separate rooms.
I guess, and you got 3 boys as well. I guess that must have been one of the challenges because I found that with my girls as well. They just needed to get out.
Oh my God, every day.
Out. So how did you navigate through that?
Because
you needed some time alone as well, and you wasn't having that. And then you had work to do. You had lunch,
that's
dinner,
what
breakfast.
it was. Oh, that was the worst of it. So it was like you get up in the morning. They want you to get your children. They sent me a whole timetable of what time to get up my children, how to do this. Make sure there's snacks in between. Make sure they're drinking water, which was so annoying because I'm trying to, with my little one, he's only 4, but he had homeschooling as well. Yeah. So I had to teach him his homeschooling, and
their work is not easy.
Nah.
Like I'm serious. Their work is not easy, and if you don't take time and learn yourself, your kid will be like, I'm sure some kids are like, Mom, Dad, you a bit dumb, ain't you? I'm sure all those
my
parents.
My son used to look at me and be like, you didn't learn this in school? I'm like, I didn't say I didn't learn it. I just can't remember. Do you know how old I am? Like, I can't remember this. He's like, well, you obviously wasn't listening to your teacher. That's what he always says to me. And I'm like, no, I was listening to my teacher, but how old are you and how old am I, Kadeem?
Your son's got you. It sounds like they both of them. So the middle one who doesn't like school, learning at school.
He likes learning in school.
Doesn't like learning at home.
Learning. Yeah.
How did you manage to get him to learn at home?
Okay, Carter, let's do your work. Let's do this. And you see, afterwards, you can play your Fortnite and I'll buy you V-Bucks. That was it for him. He
was buying Reeboks every day?
Basically every other day.
Reeboks trainers we're talking
V-Bucks.
about.
V-Bucks. For his Fortnite game.
Oh, so this is that online?
Yeah.
I'm not into
online.
this.
So it's online. So
how much were they?
Only little bits, like £15.
£15 little bits?
Yeah, that's for every other day. That's not even a lot.
But
we did do it for 6 months. Don't think we done it for 6 months. We done it for a little bit, and then he just got used to getting up and doing his work, and then he'll get to play his computer. That was the arrangement. If you get up and do your work when I say, and I have to check it to make sure it's done correctly, then you can go and you have the rest of your... I was trying to teach them, do your work in the morning, because the school wanted you to do like school hours. I do not have them amount of hours free for my children to be sitting there doing this work, and it's impossible.
And how did you navigate with that and work?
With my own stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, that was... Do you know what? It wasn't even that bad, to be fair. With my own stuff, it wasn't that bad. But there was days it was stressful because I'm trying to do my own thing. And then I got my son nagging me over here for drink, for juice, for Chris. Can you come? I want you to paint with me and stuff like that. And then I'm trying to do all my own stuff and my own stuff ain't getting done. Whereas I felt with them being in school, that gives parents the opportunity to get what I always feel that my kids being in school, I do what I need to do throughout the day. When they come home, I'm ready for them. And I wasn't getting that. And the other thing was, in the first lockdown, my mum, who I do rely on a lot, she wasn't there to help me as much because she was at work still. So yeah, it's like I felt like it was all just bang on me, like everything that's got done for me.
Did you find a new appreciation for teachers? Because I think
I take my hats off to teachers. I'm not gonna lie.
Because that's the problem amongst parents and teachers. Because parents could ring home and say, your child is behaving, your child needs to do this.
Yeah.
And one of the first thing parents would do, my child ain't like that. I know my child. My child's a good child.
Yeah.
No, I'm not calling you to waste my time and waste your time. I am telling you, no, my child's not learning at school. Why? So you now have a different appreciation for teachers.
Definitely. I actually do take my hat off to teachers. Like, but at the same time, they are trained and they know how to deal with that. I believe they went to go and get a degree to become a teacher. I'm not a teacher. So I feel like I'm prepared for when my children come home with their homework to do their homework with them. But for a whole day or 6 hours trying to teach you, hell no.
Teachers are trained to deal with it, but they're not trained to deal with certain behaviors that come through.
Yeah, I agree.
But if those behavior comes, what teachers then ask for in return is help from parents.
Which is,
and
I find that it's fine.
A lot of parents don't help. They're like, you should do the job. You know what you're doing. So for you to say that you take your hat off to teachers, that's very, very nice for teachers. What can the government do you think, to help?
Well, for starters, I don't believe the government are doing all they can, especially for children. Like with the kids, like they've closed. There's nothing for children to do. We used to have youth clubs out there. They've closed all the youth clubs. The children they have nowhere to, what can we do? Even parks, they've closed parks at 4:00. So if you say you don't finish doing your little things that you need to be doing in your house by 4:00, you can't even take the kids to the park to go and have a little swing.
And what do you think the mental situation or depression is that contributing towards the kids and you? Because I think in all of this, because the kids goes to bed, let's say 8, 9, and you crash.
By 8, 9, I'm ready to go sleep myself.
And then you're up early the next day.
I'm exhausted.
So how did that
do you know what?
With
mentally,
yes,
I feel fine, but I believe I am fine because I have so much more support around me. I have that kind of connection and connect with like my family members and my mom and my friends. So I feel like I'm fine. But at the same time, like for the people that don't, I feel sorry for them. And I know a few people that have no help. And at the same time as well, for children, I feel sorry for them for the simple fact that sometimes I don't think people realize that some children, you don't know what they're going through at home, getting abused and stuff like this. So school was like their getaway, their place of they felt safe and comfortable, and they're not getting that right now. But yeah, that's how I feel.
That is interesting because I find even for me, we send our kids to school. It's just they're so like my eldest one. There's only 4 kids in our class. My middle one there's 8, and my youngest one there's 3. And it makes such a big difference. You know, they've got this playground to themselves. They're running around. They're jumping. They're happy. And then when they come home, it's that cut-off break. And then Mrs. had it because she's working from home. And I do some research at home as well. It helps for the mental situation.
But you've noticed a difference, isn't it, since they've been going to school?
There's a huge difference. They're happier. They're actually even more tired, like good tired. When they come home, they want to sleep. They're not annoying. I know you shouldn't call your own kids annoying, but after a while, they just get too much. And that's why I feel sorry for you, because you got boys.
Who are boisterous, very boisterous.
Boys. What are the fights like between the 3 of them?
Well, my first 2, they fight non-stop, and they're so alike. They're born a day apart. It's like when they fight, you don't know whether to laugh or to go mad. But my little one, he tries to get involved. He's trying to back his little middle brother and all of this. Yeah. But no, it's not even. I can't say it's bad. Yeah. Because as well, they have role models around them, so they know when they come in what time it is. That helps.
It
definitely does.
Do you use that to discipline them or threaten them sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes.
If you don't behave, your uncle's going to come home and...
I use that all the time. And then you see how quick they stop though.
But don't you find that frustrating? Like, because sometimes the way my kids respond to me is very different to how they respond to the mother. Yeah. And sometimes the mother gets annoyed. Why? I'm with you more times than your dad. Why don't you listen to me? And that kind of frustrates her even more.
I understand that because I'm a single mum, but at the same time, my children, they don't listen to me. It's like I'm begging them. I always have to try and blackmail them to listen to me. But then my little brother will walk in the house and it's like, you stop, you over there, you do this, you do that. And you see the silenceness. 1 second.
Why don't you get him to come homeschool?
He, my brother.
Yeah.
Never. He always says, your kids, man, they're too naughty.
I'm sure he was like that. Probably
Very.
still is.
Yeah, definitely.
So he runs in the
No,
family.
he's a good boy now, actually.
Oh, that's good. What's his name?
Dominic.
Keep doing the good uncle thing. And that's crucial that your kid's got a positive role model in the uncle.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
listens to them as well. That's crucial because I find a lot of kids don't have that. Like they really don't have that.
And the relationship he has with my kids is very strong.
It's beautiful.
Very, very strong.
It's beautiful. Do they sometimes try to play you against him?
No, they don't do that. They more play me and my mum against each other. If I say no, then I'll see the little one go upstairs and be like, my mum said, da, 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 da. And I'm like, no, I just told you no. What do you mean your mum said?
Yeah, that's one of the things me and my mum like disagree on because I believe she's just gone soft towards my kids. My kids, when they're with my mum or any of their grandparents for that matter, they get away with anything.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I never used to get away with a fraction of it. And I'm like, Mum, what? She goes, well, they're not mine. They're your kids. You can have them
I
back.
understand that. Because even my mum, like, when they're messing up the house, I'm like, oh, please stop messing up the house. I have to clean this. My mum's like, no, it's fine. Let them do it. I'm like, but don't get twisted. She's going to shout. She'll be shouting about how much mess they're making. But I'll be like, you just told them to let them do it. You just told me, let them do it. But then you want to come to me and start shouting. How does that work?
I don't know.
Exactly. But like my mum, and I'll say no. They'll go upstairs, say to my mum, can I have da-da-da-da? And she'll say, yeah. And I'll be like, I've just told them no. She's like, oh, she always tells me, why don't you just piss off?
Not in front of the kids.
No,
I hope so, because mum would,
Not in front of the
can't tell you
kids.
off mum, but it would have been political. As JB would say, it would have been techers, innit? Techie. Rasta, edit that techie part. Literally. So, you are now working for the school.
So I do like basically like an online to teach kids, cooking, like this cooking stuff.
What is that like, teaching kids how to cook through Zoom, I believe?
Yeah. Well, it hasn't fully come together yet. We're just working on it at the moment.
Okay.
But I've been trying to do it with like kids that I know, and it's been good. It's all right.
Because cooking is therapeutic.
Is it?
It really is.
I like cooking.
Do the kids
Me and my friends cook. Me and my two friends. Me and my friend, we cook in the week, certain days of the week, and we enjoy it. We really enjoy it.
Is that something you pushing the boys to get into as well?
My big son, he ain't going to be interested in that. Even though I wish he would, because I want to try and teach my kids basic life skills. And I believe cooking and things like money management and stuff are things that you should know.
Yeah.
And you're not going to learn that just from learning it like that. You have to be taught these things. And that's what I'm trying to teach my kids now, especially as this lockdowns happen. I'm like, nah, I need to try and sort out a way for my children to like be their own bosses and stuff like this.
Yeah, that's it. Actually, just in the news, was it yesterday? There's a news. This guy signed up to Uber Eats to become an Uber Eat driver, but only so he can go pick up his McDonald's. So imagine, I'm telling you. So he orders McDonald's, and then as an Uber driver, he somehow, I don't know how it works, he somehow goes pick up his McDonald's, and he actually gets paid for it. So technically, he's having McDonald's for free.
Yeah,
it's crazy, but that's what he had to allude to, because cooking skills is not that great. But
and I think everyone's different, because we were taught, like, in our house, you have to cook and clean. Yeah. That's something you're taught, which I'm trying to teach my kids, which isn't, it's going well with my middle one. Like, he would, if I tell him to clean something, he would gladly do it. Even my little one would try and do a little sweeping.
Yeah.
But my older one, he is not interested in cooking and cleaning. But then he'll turn around and said to me, when he was seeing his other side of his family, he would tell me, oh, I know how to make fried chicken. I made fried chicken at my dad's house. And I'm like, what? I have never seen you even pick up a pot here, a pot lid.
Have you ever encouraged him to?
I more than do that. I'm always telling him, come, let's bake. Let's do this. Let's do that. He's not interested.
Wow.
He's like, oh, you always want me to do stuff, man. You're annoying. That's what he does.
Is there something you can bribe him? Perhaps a game or maybe some Reebok trainers for him?
Bribing don't work with that one because anything he wants, he gets.
From you?
My mum, anything.
Anything?
I'm telling you, anything he wants, she'll say, okay, baby, I'll get it.
Don't you think that's one of the problems as well? Because they're spoiled. Like
they are.
The
they are very.
now.
They are. I believe that. I even believe that my kids are really spoiled. But if I didn't spoil them, who is?
But then you then get into the situation when you trying to discipline them. They'll be like, Mum, are you forgetting the last few years we've done this?
That is so true.
So then how can you put a stop to that?
How am I going to put a stop to this? No, they're not that bad, to be honest. They're not that bad. They have their days and their moments, like everyone. I'm even like that myself. I could be happy today and tomorrow I'll be like, why are you phoning my phone?
To your kids?
No, to like to my kids.
To JB.
But I'm like that. I have mood swings. So I'm like that with my kids certain time. I'm like, oh, can you just get out my room? Leave me alone. Why are you not in here?
Yeah, no, that is I mean, the worst like for us is the little one. Just whenever, boom, in. Whenever. Boom. And it's crazy because the other two, we trained them not to be like that. And they actually they did at that age, at 3 years old, they were better than
To be fair, my two older ones, they don't really look on me. They do
because
not.
they're old now.
Yeah, and they, if even like wanting something, they won't come and ask me more time. They'll just go, or they go and ask my mum. They actually leave me alone. It's the last one. He consistently, it's me. Even if my mum's telling him, "Come, I'm gonna do it for you," he's like, "No, I want my mum to do it."
That's beautiful. So if we go back to the school, homeschooling, in terms of equipment, what was that like? Was you okay in equipment? Because that's one of the things I believe is lacking in a lot of households. Because
laptops.
Yeah.
This is the issue with some people. So the school didn't understand, like, I have 3 kids. I need to have 3 laptops. We didn't have 3 laptops in the house, which was the first 2 weeks we didn't have 3 laptops. But then the school sent them to our house. So they provided it. And it's only because I called them and I was like, where do you think I'm going to find 3 laptops on? So they provided it for me.
Would you say your school is very supportive to parents, or was just you by yourself? Even you said that the school would call you, said sit down in your uniform, the app at
they
the
are
was that
supportive.
for everyone or just you?
Yeah, for everyone.
Okay.
They are supportive to an extent, because I've had some run-ins in that school myself. So they are supportive, but to be fair, with me, they are fine. They're like, I can ask them to do anything for me, and they would find a way to go out of their way to do it.
Why is that?
Because I'm a nice person. No, they would, because I've had some personal issues like that's happened, and they've helped me along the way to get through what I'm going, like what my children's been going through and what we've been going through as a family. And yeah, they're supportive and things like that. But even the homeschool learning this time round, so we were doing it for 2 weeks. After them 2 weeks, I said, listen, called up the school. I said, okay, this is what it is. I've had enough. So they were like, what's going on? I was like, I've had enough. These children either come to school or they're not doing the homeschool learning. That's what's going to happen. So then the head teacher was like, don't worry, leave it with me. I'm going to sort it. So I was just thinking, I remember coming off the phone to her and I was like, this woman's chatting nonsense, man. She ain't going to sort nothing. Yeah. Anyway, the next day, she said, she sent me an email that night saying, your kids can come to school tomorrow.
That's beautiful. Was you at this point worried about the corona, or that the stress and being at home schooling?
I actually was worried, because I was like, if everybody does this and they have a whole school in there, my children ain't going. So I took them to school.
So you then told the head teacher, no one else is allowed to bring their kids in school.
No, I didn't.
Just my kids.
I did ask her how many kids were attending school though, because I need to know how many kids in the. But luckily enough, there's only about 15 kids in the whole school, which is fine. So I was like, and she was like, we do the temperatures every morning, and we do this and we do that. So you have nothing to worry about, Mum. And I find it so much easier right now because they go to school. The 2 older ones, not the little one, the 2 older ones, which I would prefer if the 2 older ones stayed at home and the little one went to school. but the 2 older ones go to school and they are actually more happier than they were at home. They see their little friends that they play with or whatever, and when they come home, to be fair, they're exhausted.
Yeah, it's just there's something about fresh air and space, as you said.
I believe all children, everyone needs that.
And most people are within London anyway. A lot of people are confined in very small housing.
Yeah,
so
our housing issue is a big issue.
There's nowhere for the kids to run.
Definitely.
So them going to school, and also on the flip side, the teachers, because I know one. So there was a case at my school when at my daughter's school when they went back, one of the key worker kids had COVID, their parents, so they had to shut the school down. And then 14 days later, they all went back. And then the teacher was just, when I dropped off, she was like happy, like, it's really nice to be back because I was just at home, I was bored, there was nothing to do. The teachers love it as well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the teachers actually enjoy homeschooling through Zoom and setting lessons and things like that. I don't know, but I don't think they enjoy it that much.
They miss the kids. This is something they're used to. Like, it's like, I believe everybody right now, even people that's had all their time, that's on furlough and everything, they're missing actually going. This was like your kind of, how should I put it, like your getaway, like your peace. You got somewhere to go. So I believe that the teachers, they miss the kids. That they're used to having these kids all the time with them to not seeing them.
Yeah. So with your 10-year-old, he's off to secondary school next year, right?
Yeah,
Is
September this year. Yeah.
What are you doing to ensure that he'll be in good hands or ready in contact with the curriculum?
To be fair, I don't even know if he's ready. As looking as a parent, I don't know if he's ready because it's like 2 years, last year and this year now, it's like he's been disruptive because of the learning and the corona and everything. So I don't know if he's ready. Well, we do talk about it. He's excited to go to secondary school.
Of course.
But, oh yeah, and they did send like some email to ask if you wanted your children to stay. They're asking year 6 parents, you know, if they want their children to do stay a year behind, basically.
Oh, wow.
To repeat the year. But I'm not doing that.
Why not?
Because my child's going to be a year behind in everything. And
no, do you know what the French system do?
What?
So the French system is very different from the UK system, education system. You are not allowed to move to the next stage of primary school, secondary school, until you pass your exams. So if you keep failing your exams 7 years in a row, you're
going to be 7 years behind. No, that is sad.
Well, it's not in a way, because remember, as soon as you leave college, or let's just be generous, as soon as you leave university, we are at the same level anyway. So we're not going to, just look at the last workplace you was in or your current workplace. Not everyone's in the same age. You got 20-year-olds, you got 30-year-olds, you got 40. So it shouldn't, the fact that you want your kid to be prepared, because the other thing I can hear what you're saying. You don't want to be the only one with a deeper voice than anyone else. But then you don't want to be so far behind because you wasn't ready. Because imagine test comes and you're just getting poor results. You wasn't ready. And I think the problem then goes on. If you're not ready in year 7, you're damn sure not going to be ready in year 8. And you won't be ready in year 10.
Well, I've asked the teachers if they believe that he's ready, and they said he is ready to get to secondary school. If they wasn't, they would have already come to me and been like, they don't feel he's ready to take the next step in life and all of this stuff.
I think that's a good initiative that your school is doing in order the fact that
because they asked everyone that in the whole of year 6, every parent, like if they feel that they want their child to stay at school another year behind and all of this stuff. Because there is a lot of kids. I believe there is a lot of kids that are behind, and
a lot.
Some of that is I'm not blaming the teachers for that. I'm blaming the parents, because as a parent, not blaming the parents, but I feel that as a parent, you should be trying to push your child to that next level as well.
A lot of parents believe that you, the teacher, you got the qualification, you get paid, you teach my son or daughter.
Yeah.
However, the teachers are there to guide.
And you have to remember, that teacher has a room full of 30 kids. So it's one teacher and maybe a teaching assistant and 30 kids. That's a lot, you know. All these kids, you might be at one level, I might be at another level, and you're trying to teach them all the same thing. It's impossible.
It's impossible. And but for those, I guess there's a lot of barriers in some cases. Some parents can't do the work because it's too hard. Some parents can't read or write.
You even get some parents that ain't familiar with English, and they're from a different country, so they've been brought up different. That they don't know the English language. Yeah.
So what do? What advice do you give them?
There need to be more help out there for people. Like, that's what I believe. Especially, they need to be, what's the word? Like, they need to open some centres or something where people can go and get help for their kids to do the work, or even if it's for an hour a day, that's an hour of peace of mind.
For anyone who's looking for that business idea, there it is. Start up a centre where you go to a centre, teach kids, or start up something when you go to parents' houses and teach them how to facilitate and teach the kids at home.
Exactly.
Or do the homework. 10% to Francis Koh when that business is successful, yeah?
And me, it was my idea.
3.5% over there. 10% over there. No, I'm joking. No, you were right. And I would like to thank you, because the strength you're going through and doing what you're doing, there's a lot of parents out there stressed.
Don't get it twisted. There's certain times I'm stressed myself certain times, but I feel that I have my stress under control. So I feel like there's certain times I want to help I see some kids and I'm like, I feel really sorry for that child. Like, they look lost and I want to help them myself.
Because it's already bad enough before the pandemic was here.
Exactly.
And now well, good thing we're coming out of it. Good thing we're seeing, you got the vaccination coming. And are your kids going to get vaccinated?
Oh, hell no. No.
Do you want teachers to get vaccinated? Because imagine there might be a teacher out there who can contract the coronavirus, and you don't want them to pass it to your kids.
Exactly.
So do you want teachers
to be fair, I don't want no one to get vaccinated, but that's impossible.
Okay.
Because I even know people that's got vaccinated already.
Yeah, I know quite a few.
And to be fair, you hear all these stories, but the people that I've known that's been vaccinated, they're fine.
Yeah, let's give it a few more weeks.
That's what I said. I said give it a few more weeks or months, and let's see if you lot are still feeling fine.
Then
the government themselves don't even want to put money into this. So why are you trying to use my kids and teachers as guinea pigs? I'm confused.
That is true, because is it one of the vaccinations delivering less?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not giving me no guarantee. Okay, so if I take this vaccine, does that mean I'm not going to get corona? No, there's a chance you still might get corona. Why am I getting this vaccine for?
Well, they're actually now thinking of, once you get vaccinated, there's no lockdown for you. That's
impossible. Who said that?
No, it's just something that they're thinking about it.
They're saying...
Yeah, vaccination passports as well.
I'll stay here, all my life. I don't need to go on holiday. I'm fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you take medicine?
Certain, only if I'm dying. If I feel like I'm dying.
Do you know what's in those medicine?
Yeah, I read it before I go.
No, come on. Don't give me that.
I do take medicine. You're right. I don't know what's in it, but if it's gonna make me feel better, I am taking it.
When you guys go on holiday, you take the vaccine that the doctor.
Thank you.
I don't take no vaccine.
You do. Like the malaria.
When you go to malaria, yeah. That is true. But those things have been around for time.
No, but
those vaccines.
You know what? That's a good point.
My whole point is, you can't cure cancer, you can't cure these things, and then all of a sudden you just come and find some vaccine within a couple months and telling me that's the cure for corona, COVID. You're mad. I was more a bit, do you not believe there's corona out there? Like, I didn't believe there's corona out there like before. And then now I'm believing, okay, I'm not saying it's corona, but there's something definitely out there, because it's hit people that's close to me. So I know there's something out there, but nah, still, that vaccine thing came way too quick.
So going back to the original question, at what point would you allow your kids to get vaccinated?
When they're of age to make their own decision.
What if the school said,
they have to be vaccinated to go to school?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they'll get home learned, then I'll do the best I can for them at home. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'll have to do that. But to be fair,
yes,
I would have to cross that bridge when it comes to it.
I personally think...
What, you're going to get your kids vaccinated to go to school?
Yeah. It's not. I don't. It's not by choice.
But
it's
why?
not by the. Because I believe they're gonna design it in a way
So that it's
where you
safe for
have to.
kids. Oh, what? So everyone?
Yeah, I believe they're gonna design it in a way where you
I
have
believe
to.
that.
Whereas your kids can't come in school until you vaccinate.
You're
You
right.
can't go anywhere until you. That I strongly believe that is the way they'll design it, and we are gonna fall in line, and we are gonna do it. No, because look, if you go back the first original lockdown, I remember before the lockdown there were talks. There were talks that the country's gonna be on lockdown. I remember people sending me clips of the army marching in.
Yeah.
Apparently the army, and people were texting me, "I'm not staying at home. They're not locking me down. I'm gonna go to work." 2 weeks later, everyone was at home. Everyone was at home.
That is so true.
And then it's like, oh, when you, and so these people saying, I'm not going nowhere, texting, guys, when you go out, make sure you turn your GPS off. Because, well, therefore, all that hard talk was given us, you just went and did exactly. So I believe the same thing. When the time comes, they've designed it. It's in the process.
Yeah.
I believe everyone, it's like the Oyster cards.
Oh, yeah.
When the Oyster cards came out, I said, I am not getting an Oyster card.
Yeah.
I am going to pay because I don't want people to trap me. When they drop the price, how you get a discount.
That is so true.
Sign me up. So I think everyone's going to get vaccinated. But as you said, alluded to it just in a bit, I do worry at the speed of light which they came out with the vaccination.
Definitely. That's my main thing. That is my main worry. I'm like, this came too quick for me. Way too quick. And I believe that a lot of people are feeling that, like seeing that same thing. Like, wow, you can't cure this and this, but you all of a sudden you come with this vaccine within a couple months. That's mad.
Yeah. It's big business. I mean, you got the Chinese vaccination, which is 60%.
Yeah.
And now they're saying that the South African variant, Corona, doesn't work with the current vaccination. Mm-hmm. And now they're thinking of cross-working the two vaccinations. By the time this come out, who knows? We all probably got vaccinated by now and walking around like the Walking Dead. I don't know. But I strongly believe, regardless where we are, regardless how tough things get,
definitely,
as humanity, we will get through this.
Yeah,
I mean, we've been through worse situation than this. Homeschooling.
I believe this is the time that everyone should pull together, though. And okay, not everyone. So with the school learning and stuff like that, parents should come together, help one another. Some of most children who have parents that have kids that are the same age are learning the same thing. You're not going to all help one another and help people this is the time you really find out people that's in need. There's a lot of people that don't have a lot right now. And I know a lot of people that things has happened to them within this time. They've lost their jobs. I know people that's parents have died in between these times and stuff like that. And they're just on their own.
Give us some examples. How are you helping people?
How am I helping?
Yeah.
Well, I help my friends with their kids.
Okay.
I check up as well on people. That's the most important thing, I believe. Even a text. Just check up on your loved ones and stuff like that.
I don't believe a text. I believe a phone call.
A phone call, but a phone call's not always possible.
I think it is. If you want to speak to someone, it is possible. It could be a 5-minute conversation.
You get the people. You do get these people. My day's so busy. My life's so busy. My life is hectic. By the time that happens, I'm tired. I'm this and that. So if that's the case, just send me a little text to see, how are you? How's your family? How's the kids? Come on.
The reason why I don't believe in text messages, especially during this pandemic or at the time of the pandemic, is because it's so easy to just reply, I am okay. I am fine.
I started a mum's group on WhatsApp and
you don't talk about everything.
No, but we most of the time we talk about our kids.
Okay.
We do. And one of the girls, a few days ago, she put up, her child had a home, a sheet of work to do. And she didn't know what to do. And we all got into it and was like, okay, we do this, we do that, this one, do this one. And it got done.
That is beautiful. That's an idea.
And what else? Other things we do is someone wants ideas on how to cook something. There was a girl in the group. She didn't know how to make Thai green curry. And I told her how to make it. And she made it and it looked wicked. Don't know if it
Did it
tastes
taste
good. I didn't eat it. But we share ideas, quick meals, kids
That's
to
good.
food, like on a budget as well. Like there's a couple of them, they shop on a budget. So they only have like they shop in certain shops, not shops that I would go in, but
Like Lidl's?
yeah, like they go in Lidl's.
You
like,
wouldn't go in Lidl's?
I've been in Lidl's once in my whole life and I didn't like it.
Why didn't you like Lidl?
Found it rubbish. I was like,
Rubbish
rubbish.
to what extent?
And I bought a drink in there and I was like, this drink is appalling. Ugh. Never again.
You know what it is? It's just your taste buds need to adapt.
No, I'm not drinking it. I'm not buying anything in there.
Was it gone off Coca-Cola or something?
No, it was a drink. Yeah, a tropical juice. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember going there. These times I was going uni and I was like, I'm going to go and buy this drink. It was disgusting. I was like, never again. Waste of my pound. I
shop any and everywhere.
But I would say this. I'm not too proud. So okay. I would if I go, say like I'll go to Iceland.
Yeah.
You know, mums love Iceland.
Iceland is not a budget place, you know.
No, Iceland's proper. I like Iceland.
Iceland,
you're not a proper mum if you don't get to Iceland.
Iceland, they sell Greg's pies and that. That's not cheap.
I wouldn't buy that. I'll try and make my own pie. I ain't going to buy.
I'm just saying how Iceland is not on a budget.
They even sell TGIs now.
Yeah, TGIs in Iceland.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I was like, raw, they got TGIs in Iceland. But I'm saying, like, Iceland, you have to know, some people don't know how to shop. So, for instance, yesterday I went to Iceland. There was a packet of crisps in Iceland. Now, this packet of crisps is £2.50 in Iceland. But in Poundland, it's £1 and you're getting the same 5. So I'm not going to spend my £2.50 to pay it for 5 in Iceland. I'm going to take myself to Poundland and go buy 2 packs to get 10. And it's only £2. I'm saving 50p.
So basically, you just don't like Lidl.
So I know where to shop. Nah, and my kids, there's a lot of things that don't taste the same.
What I want, your kids wants, what's that, Waitrose?
My son likes Marks and Spencer's, actually.
I am never looking after his son. I'm gonna bring a homemade sandwich here.
Nah, but you see like Aldi, for instance.
Yeah.
There is some things I'll buy in Aldi.
Okay.
I wouldn't say everything, because I bought tomato ketchup in there once and I was like, flipping out, they filled this up with vinegar. Ugh. It was disgusting.
I believe you should take, remember, it's just like anything else in life. You pay, you get what you pay for.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I believe in times like these,
but you see stuff like that. You see, like, now we're living in a pandemic and people, like, I might have the money to go to Waitrose. Not everyone does. And not even, I even see that with my friends. But it doesn't matter.
Do you feel it's wise? You might have the money at the time to go to Waitrose. Do you think it's wise to actually go to Waitrose, considering that the unknown ahead?
No, I don't.
So you go to Aldi?
Yeah, I would go. I would buy
or Lidl's.
No, I wouldn't go to Lidl's. You're pushing
just not Lidl's.
Nah, but I'll go to Aldi.
Do you go to one of those? You know, like on the Harrow Road, there's that fruit market outside.
I don't buy fruits outside.
You don't buy fruits outside?
Nah, I have to be bought in a shop. In a proper shop.
What, Waitrose?
Yeah, I like Marks and Spencer's fruits.
Marks and Spencer got the best fruits.
I love Marks and Spencer's fruit.
They're expensive, but
they're worth the money. I don't mind spending that money.
So apart from that, so the homeschooling, the cooking thing. So one of the reasons why you're doing the cooking thing or trying to set up the cooking thing with the school is because you yourself run a cooking business.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
So me and my friend started a cooking business. My friend Chloe, we started a cooking business in 2017.
Oh, wow. And
basically what made us start it is because we were both at home. Well, she wasn't at home at the time. She had a job. Yeah. But I was at home and I just had a baby. So we said, oh, let's start a business and let's try and make our own money. It's always good to have that extra income and do things. I'm kind of a believer of like, I don't need you. I can do it on my own. Like, I do everything on my own. So,
do you still believe that even with the pandemic at the moment?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, definitely not. But I can do it on my own.
Oh yeah, but
it's nice to get the help, and it's nice to give help. Yes. Yeah. Whereas before, I was a bit like, well, I ain't helping that person. That person has more money than me. Do you know? I just saw that person buying them shoes for £300. Are you mad? And now you want me to help them? Nah. But whereas now, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to help that person. I
So
try
it's
to help
safe
everyone.
to say the pandemic and the corona has
made me think,
matured you a little.
Yeah.
Not saying you're not
it's
mature
made me think
before.
of life different. I look at
Yes.
life in a different kind of way now. And I'm grateful for what I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm mostly grateful, listen, for my mum. Like, there's been some times where I feel like I'm going to break down. So, like, I'm grateful for my friends, like my close friends that I have.
Apart from when your mum goes give your kids something that you said.
No.
Apart from those times.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's go back to the cooking business with your friends.
So, we started this cooking business. And in 2017, we started it. It was going so well. We stopped for a while. And then we started back again. And now we just come back bigger and better.
Having 3 sons, homeschooling, I think that is, please guys, let's give a round of applause for that, because that is, and that goes out to all the parents out there, even the dads.
I take my hat off to
honestly.
all single, you definitely have to recognize them single dads that's doing it, mate. Definitely, there's a lot.
Just as recognize them as the single parents.
Definitely.
Single mums, sorry, because there's a lot of the stigma. Like dads can't look after kids.
Definitely.
We can, and we do an amazing job.
They actually do. Some dads do a better job than their mothers, That's what you have to remember.
Yeah, depends on the mother, depends on the father. Yeah,
on the circumstances, of course.
So with you, I mean, that's incredible. Having 3, not only are you looking after homeschooling kids, 3 boys. Just the boys alone.
I know.
So we congratulate you. We salute you. What advice would you give a young single mother out there who doesn't have the support network like you do, just to get through and get on and just keep the mental state sharp?
Well, first of all, you definitely have to try and keep calm. And you just, what's the word? You need to just crack on with it. Because even being a single mum is hard without having all of that to do. Just being a single mother is hard. But you just, I believe in willpower. So I believe I've got this. Like, I always just think, even when I want to give up, I think, nah, I've got this. I'm ready to do this. And plan your days if you can. Some people can't plan their days. But if you can, be like, okay, and wake up with good energy. That is the main, I always believe. Once you start, even if you're not in a good mood, just come on and be like, let's do this today and let's do that. And if you got that energy, the child, because I always believe if you're unhappy, your children are unhappy. So if you've got that good energy and good vibe, they're going to be excited and ready to do what you want them to do. Yeah. That's all it is.
Well, once again, Krystal, thank you very much.
You're more than welcome.
So that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Francis Koh. Krystal's been our guest. However, I don't close the show. Our guest always closes the show. Over to you, Krystal. Close the show.
Thanks, guys, for listening. And I hope you lot take on everything I said and all the advice. And feel free to holler at my Instagram to get more advice. I'll help you. I want to help everyone. So, yeah, feel free. Thanks. See you later.
Thanks. See you later.
I do not talk like that.